So this is a continuation to the last video where we captured the response of this qwen chat UI, and then we passed that to locally running qwen model to return all the files that needed to be created in this uh, code that qwen 3 max gave. So in this video we'll continue that one. So let me show you a few of the things that we did in the last video. So we were sent first we tried with the terminal, sending that qwen3 response to the model and asking it to read this and return. At the end we are adding return all the files along with the path. Just return all the file name that needs to be created here, and Java ones as well as non-Java ones. For Java ones, make sure file name case is matching and the class name case with the extension. For non-Java, return file name from above text as it is. All the data should be in the JSON structure. Like this, we added a suffix along with the data that we got from the chat window. And this is the response it gave. It, it was returning it in the JSON structure starting at this point. So starting with 3 backtick and JSON, you can see this is a regular JSON with some slash n character. So starting at this opening array bracket till this point ending one, and this one can be extracted you with this 2 backticks, starting 3 backticks and ending 3 backticks. Actually starting it is 3 backtick plus a JSON text, and in between that whatever text is there that we can extract and do a JSON.parse like I did in this video. And I was doing console.log. Let me show you this one once more. So this is how I selected first this area. I was selected to get the element in $0 variable and clear this. If I do a $0 here, this is how the div it returned. This $0 contains this entire div that contains the response. Now from this we need to get a part or get a ID or the class which will give us the handle of this element, this div, that we can access using JavaScript, so that we can get the value stored in this one in a variable. So for that, first this ID we cannot use because there is an identifier which might change every time we have a new chat. So this will not be useful. So then we can go with the class one. Let me forward this video a little bit. So yeah, I'm putting this class name, whatever you see, message response message container. This I'm putting here, but the problem is there is a typo here. Double E is there. That's why it did not return anything first time. So after fixing the typo, message, it actually returning that handle. And if I do the inner text, it will return me the same response. So this is what the video has. Also uh, regarding the parsing part, the response that I got, it I passed here. So this was the initialization of that variable. Then JSON.parse that value. This itself is returning us in the JSON as a JSON object. But for reading it as a string, we can even do a stringify that I am doing below this one. So at this point, console.log. So let's leave this video. Coming back to the current scenario, we'll have to write a Node.js application that will actually make this API call, give us this response, parse this part, do a JSON.parse, and this will be ready for the next step. So for that, I have some of setup already done. I have a package.json created. Express dependency has been added. Right now, this server.js is empty. This test.js, I have just kept whatever the query selector for that div is. Response, actually it was message, response message container. This is the selector for that. Server.js is empty right now. Let's build an application that makes an API call. So implement this express JS file that has an endpoint host one that can be called with a payload, and its handler will call another API and return a response. So to generate a boilerplate for this one, let's wait for that. Okay, so it has implemented. I will keep the changes. I will close the chat window for more clarity. Let's review what it has created. It added up app.post with /1 this endpoint, and yeah, just one endpoint is there. Proxy running post to redirect one. Okay, this is just a slash path is just returning a message. Proxy server running post to /1. And this one looks like it is getting the URL from the request body as well as body. So request dot body has a body attribute, has headers is header can come from the body, but by default it is keeping an empty. If it is not there, it will override this one. Method is post. Method can also come from the body, but it is defaulted to post, and URL also it is getting. So I would like to refactor it a little bit. I don't want the body to contain a header. Let's keep a header here itself. I'll define this, and then URL also I need it needs to be a the Olama URL. So I'll say const URL equal to, and I will provide it. Method also I want it to be hard coded as post, and request dot body will be our body. So basically we'll just have a body attribute coming into this one, and no or. Okay, so you need to fail earlier. Now URL will be the one that we are calling from here. This post URL, then modify. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So let's try this one. So I'll say node server.js. So it's running at port 3000 now, and I have a Postman collection created. The localhost 3000 and /1, the endpoint that it added, and this is the payload that Olama expects. So I'm adding a prompt hello and sending this one. Now you can say why I'm creating another API while Olama already provides one, because the Olama API doesn't have the CORS header. So I'm creating this as a proxy API. So this one, our UI or the Chrome extension can call. We'll have the CORS implemented in this one. As this one, we have the control. We can add the CORS header in the response. So it will work even. This can be called even from a UI. This is working. I'm saying hello, and the model is returning hello. How can I assist you today? So this is good. Next is we want to send it that exact prompt. So I have copied this same prompt, what I was giving the original API to here. But in this case, we don't want it to return the raw response that the Olama is returning. Instead, we want to read the response value and parse the JSON from this and just return that JSON. So for that, we'll have to check how it's returning the response first. So it is returning remote.body. This is our string. So I will do a parse of this one, res.json. If it is type of body, it is doing returning JSON. So here we'll want the response attribute from the body, and we want to split it by that 3 backticks. Okay, and boom, let val equal to, and we want to print val 2. This is the second index. Console.log. Okay, so I'll stop this. I'll save this. I'll rerun. Sorry, it will not be val 2. It will be val 1. I have to stop and rerun, and I have to trigger this actual prompt, and let's see. So we got the response in 2 minutes 29 seconds, and this is how it logged. So it logged exactly what we wanted. It is a JSON except this text. So we have to remove this and return this one instead of that entire response. So I'm checking if it has a JSON, then I'm returning everything after that text JSON. So let's test it. I'm rerunning this now. The response came in 2 minutes 40 seconds, and it is exactly the JSON that we wanted. File name path, all these things are there. So yeah, this is the end of this video. We'll continue from here in the next one.